Welcome to another Deep Cuts episode, guys. We are glad to be back, and we have another film to discuss, as always. It is great to do these things. I hope you enjoy the show. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with everything that we do here on the channel and everywhere else. Make sure to go to the website, huelessvision.com, HUELESSVISION.com. Check it all out. Merch store, every episode that we've ever done of everything is all there. Everything's there, guys. Check it out. Make sure also to hit up the emails, because if you would like to be on an episode of Grimm Tales Deep Cuts, if you would like to discuss a film that we have not yet covered and you would like to be a part of it, let us know. There is a good chance, if you got something to add to the story of what we do here, you could be on the show. So make sure to let us know if it's not there already. I'm pretty sure there will be the contact form for you to fill out, and we will get back to you in a timely manner, and we will sit down for 10 minutes and discuss whatever film we're supposed to discuss. Again, huelessvision.com. Check it out, guys. But tonight we are talking, like I said before, we're going to make sure we do this in a timely fashion. Tonight we are talking Smile 2, guys. Smile 2. Now, here's the thing about Smile 2, all right? I feel it's not a bad film. It's not a bad film in any way, okay? But, do I feel that it had the same edge that the first one had? Not necessarily. It's not a bad film. In all aspects of it, it's a good film. The acting was good. The production, everything was good. Even the story is good. I just don't feel like the story wasn't as compelling as the first one, because the first one, they explained more of the demon. This one doesn't really do that. Now, before we go into that, I must say, I keep always forgetting. You guys should be used to this by now, but I'm going to say it just to make sure I don't have anybody in the comments going, "Oh my God, you ruined the film for me." This is a spoiler heavy thing. Okay. So if you want to just know what the scores were, you can either skip forward. That's a little dangerous, but I wouldn't, we have our shallow cuts version of Grimm Tales that we put on our short forms that I give the straight up scores, and then you can go watch the film. And then once you're familiar with the film, then you can come to watch this and discuss it, discuss what we want to talk about. But fair warning, spoilers ahead. Okay. This film did not really discuss or focus on the demon itself. It was more focused on the actress's character, which, don't get me wrong, was a great character and it was a great film in its own way, but I feel like I want to know more about the demon or whatever this is, and I feel like we got more information about the demon in the first film. Production-wise, it was great. We did get to see the demon, not as fleshed out, though, I don't feel. And I don't understand why this film felt like it focused less on the demon. It's like they're trying to get away from the demon or something. Like they're trying to make this franchise something else, which I don't understand, because the first one was a good film. It wasn't a bad film. It was a good film. So I don't understand why this film felt like it deviated. The violence level of this film felt like it was less than the first one. Again, not a bad film. I think I gave it a fairly good score. But if we're comparing films, if we're comparing Smile 1 to Smile 2, I feel in a lot of ways Smile 1 was a better film. Again, not a bad film, but it did not, in my opinion, in some ways live up to the first one. I think we got to see more of the demon. I thought even the smiles itself were more creepy in the first film. Now, again, I know you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's gonna dog shit this movie." No, I'm not. I'm really not gonna dog. It's still a good movie. I'm not mad at the film, but again, I have to put it up against its predecessor, and it was better. I think that the first one was better. This was still a good movie. If I didn't see the first movie, this would be a fairly decent movie in its own way. I don't even think the creep factor was as good as this film. The gore, I don't even know. I can't. I'm trying to remember the gore in the first film, but I feel like the gore was more in the first film. Like there was a lot of things that didn't live up to the original, and that's what really hurt my feelings about this film. It's not a bad film in any way. It's a good film. The acting was good. The story was flushed out to a certain degree. I think they could have done way more with the development of the backstory of the demon. Again, they discussed the demon in the first film. There was a lot discussed in the first film of the demon. This film, it was micromanaged. It was very, very, I don't know. Like, this felt more like a psychological horror than an actual fucking possession demon horror. And that's not what it is. Like, you could literally have left the demon out of this film and just made it a psychological horror and just had her losing her mind and killing people and shit. And that would have made more sense than what this film was. This film did not discuss the major part of what this film... You would think you would flush out the demon more. You would think you would do that. But they did not. They did not flush the demon out. They did not go as hard as they should have went with that. I think as this franchise continues to go on, and it will, by all means, it definitely will, and I hope it does. It's not a bad movie. But I think going forward, if the next film in this franchise does less with the demon, that's going to be a bad thing for this film. And I won't like that. And the next film will not get as gracious as a score as I give this one. And the reason I say that is because we need to know more about the demon. The demon's the star of this franchise. Especially since you're showing the demon. The demon's the same demon in the first and second film. So why are you not making the demon the star of the film? Why are you making other people that inevitably die? Everybody fucking dies. So why are they the stars of the film and the demon's not getting the fucking front stage action that it's supposed to get? That makes me angry at that. Again, not a bad movie, but needs to be handled better. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their ideas are. But in my opinion, if they want this franchise to continuously go on and be a good franchise, they need to do more with the demon. They need to do a lot more with the demon. I think we might have even gotten more screen time in the first film with the demon than we did in this film. Like at the very end, maybe 2 minutes of the demon we got? Don't get me wrong, the first movie didn't give us an amazing amount of the demon either, but I feel like we got more than that. I feel like we got 4 minutes, okay? So I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing with the franchise. I don't know what their plans are, but in my opinion, I think if they're going to do something great with this franchise, which I hope they do, it's a great concept. They need to focus more on the demon. They absolutely do. It's not like I kind of feel like this film suffers in the same way that maybe Final Destination suffers, where Final Destination focused more on the actors that were going to die inevitably and less on death and less on the reasons why death is doing and all that other shit. And that was the reason why Final Destination, we'll eventually talk about those films. But I think that's the reason why that franchise eventually hurt and why it got stale, was because it just repetitive over and over. And that was kind of what this film was. It was like, it wasn't anything new, anything innovative in that sense. It was literally, hey, there's a demon that if you see it kill you see it possess somebody, and then they smile at you, and then they kill themselves in a horrific way. And because of the fear, which is funny because they didn't even explain that. The only reason I know that it's the amount of fear that you feel is what allows the demon to get in, that was explained in the first film. That wasn't even explained in this film, really. So I think that lacks when I think I gave this film a reasonably good score for what I think is the gripe for it. Again, it's not a bad story. It's not a bad film at all. But the third film has to do better in order for me to keep giving reasonable scores. I think it's my interest in this franchise and my want for more that is the reason I gave it such a reasonable score. But if it doesn't do it better in the next one, It's not going to get as good a score. Would I have been mad if I went to the theaters to see this film? 100%. Luckily, I got to see this on Paramount Plus. As of the time of recording this film is on Paramount Plus. So, no harm, no foul. But if I would have went to the movies to see this movie, yes, I would have not have given this. This would not be getting the score that it got if I went to the theaters to got it. Went to the theaters to see it. It would have not have gotten the score. Not a bad film, but could have been better. Everything could have been better in this film. It was good for what it was, but I think that the bar should have been raised. Okay, especially with the budget. I want to talk about that real quick before we go into the scoring. The budget for this film. Okay, the budget for this film was $28 million. This is the purest example of what I said before. You have a film like Terrifier, especially Terrifier 3, which was the opening episode we talked about. We talked about this in the very first one that we did, okay? The first deep cuts we did, okay? That had a budget of $2 million and had so much more going in for it than this film. And this film had $28 million. And I feel like it could have had more in it, right? So that's what I mean. Right? That's, again, I did not give this film a bad score because it wasn't a bad movie, but it needs to be better. And in order for me to continue giving these scores, if the third one does worse than this and doesn't grow, it's going to get a bad score. I can tell you that right now. If it does not, I mean, mind you, it's going to balance off the acting and all that stuff, but it's not going to get this score that I gave it tonight. Okay. It's not going to get it. So I hope that the third one, which they're definitely going to make a third one because of the way it is. So again, I'll go back into it. $28 million on this budget for this film. The very first film had a budget of $17 million. So it had a higher budget than the first one. And I think the first one was better than the second one, right? That's weird, but it is. It's what it is. Now, why they're going to make more? The film cost them $28 million to make, and the film made $217.4 million. So yes, this was a success. And again, it's not a bad film. I think the majority of the people that went to go see this movie that paid for it, obviously, were going off the backbones of the film. Now again, not a bad film. They are going to make more. 100% they are. But it needs to be better. There needs to be more. If the third film has a higher budget than this one and still doesn't deliver more on the backstories of the demon and flush out this character more, it's going to suffer. It's going to suffer a lot. And I hate to say that because I really don't want that to be the case. I really don't want that to be the case. The acting was good. I thought there were some goofy points in the film, like when she throws up after seeing the first kill. First thing that popped in my head was, it's a crime scene. Did she clean up or throw up? You know, I think that the actress, and now mind you, I could be wrong, but the vibe I got from this, as far as the music tone and everything else, I got a Lady Gaga kind of feel from this. I felt like they were trying to get inspiration from Lady Gaga, not in the breakdown wise, but I'm just saying like the way that the actress is portrayed as in the music and the style. I think they were trying to go for a Lady Gaga feel. Didn't bother me. It's whatever. You want to do a horror movie based in pop culture, that's fine. Kill scenes, very lacking, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I just didn't feel like the imagination was in this film. I feel like there could have been much more. And that's really disappointing to me when it comes to that, because the first movie to me was a really decent movie, not a fantastic movie, not the best movie, but I think we did Smile 1 in the first podcast of Grimm Tales that we did, and I think that made it in the top 10. So, why didn't this one? Why didn't this one? I don't know. I just feel it's not a bad film. You're going to be surprised that my overall rating, what it is. But again, I'm not going to be so generous if the third one doesn't grow. But with that said, it is time for us to get into the scoring, because that's what we do now. Let's get into the scoring of Smile 2 and let's discuss it real quick. Let's do it on story. What did I give the scoring for the story, guys? I gave the story a 4. The reason I gave it a 4 was because I feel like there's potential for a great story here. Okay, I do. I really do. I feel like it could be more. I feel like there can be more. That score will drop in the third one if they do not do nothing with this demon and backstory and explain it more. It's gonna progressively get staler and go down. I really hope they don't milk this thing just for the fact that it makes money. I really hope they don't. I really hope they do something with this. But for now, this gets a 4. It wasn't bad, but it needs to be better. Okay? With that said, let's get into the acting. I gave the acting score of this film a 4.5. Not bad acting. Everybody did a decent job. The main actress was good. Everybody did a great job with this. I really can't think of anybody who did a poor job in the film. Even the little actress girl, like the little girl who did all she did was smile. I think she probably had the creepiest smile of the whole film. The little girl was, and that's fucked up, right? Because like I thought all the smiles in the last film were creepy. Some of the smiles in this film were just really weak sometimes. And I don't know, maybe people just can't do it. But the little girl, she did an amazing job with the smile. So, I mean, props to her for that. So, yeah, I give the score a 4.5. 100%, not bad. Not 100% film, but 4.5. I'm not mad with it. You know, it's passable. Again, hopefully the acting gets better and stays that way because I hope this franchise doesn't just go down. So, yeah. Mind you, these films are... the way that these films are built to have different actors in them. It's kind of like Final Destination in that sense. So, I mean, hell, the third movie might have shitty actors and actresses. I don't know. I hope not. But all in all, 4.5. Not bad. Let's get into the pacing of this film. I gave the pacing of this film a 4. The pacing wasn't bad. Pacing, explaining the character, explaining the main character, explaining her backstory and everything was good. The pacing was well done. The pacing of unfolding of the story was good. Could have been better if they would have went more into the demon. But pacing was good for what it was. It progressively got worse, and it was what you expected it to be. So I'm not mad about that. The pacing was decent. Now let's get into our trademark scoring system, our gore score. What is the gore score for this film, might you ask? Mid 2.5. I want it more. For a film that's supposed to be violent, this film should be violent. I mean, it's supposed to have violent kills and shit in it. The first opening scene with the smashing of with the face and with the weight, it was all right. Seen worse, but was all right. Then there was the last. I'm gonna tell you right now, the last kill scene of this film was so fucking disappointing because 3/4 of that kill scene were off screen. The whole aspect of, oh, now the whole audience is going to see this horrific thing, so it's going to infect everyone. I mean, it's not the most original thing in the world. Not bad. I'm not going to knock it. But you could have shown the fucking kill. Then you just showed the aftermath. Like, son of a bitch. Like, I don't know. I think the gore was very lacking. It was very mid, very average. Could have been much better. 2.5. 2.5 for the gore. Kind of disappointing in that. I really wanted more. Production-wise, though, I gave the production score a 4.5. Definitely a step up from the last one. Even the demon looked better. For what we've seen, the little bit of the demon that we've seen was definitely better. Everything was good on this. Everything production-wise was good. The soundtrack was really good. I love the eeriness, that kind of cyberpunk eeriness. It was really wild. Like, it's kind of wild that I heard that in this because, I don't know. You usually don't hear type of, I'm not talking the music. I'm just talking about the eerie sounds and tones and stuff it did. It kind of had that cyberpunk feel, but in a horror way. And I appreciated that. The music was, pop culture-ish music. So, I mean, it fit the tone. The camera work was great. The sound was great. Everything was good. So I'm not mad about that. It wasn't fantastic, but it was good. I mean, it felt like the budget was there, I guess. Again, I think the budget more of the demon should have been showed and more gore should have been showed for the fucking budget. I don't know why the budget was what it was, and I don't know. But again, production was good. For what it was absolutely good. So again, not mad about that. All across the board, not bad. Hence the reason why I gave the overall score of this film an 8. I gave it an 8, guys. I'm not entirely mad at this film, okay? Again, could have been better, but not bad. So is it worth seeing? Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus. As of the time of seeing this, it's on Paramount Plus. I believe it should probably stay on there for quite a while because, I mean, Smile 1's still on there. So if you want to watch Smile 1, it's there, and Smile 2's there too. So it's probably still there. If not, I don't know. If you see this film for a rental of $6 and under, sure. Would I pay more than that? No. But is it worth for a streaming service? Yeah, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Not a bad film. But needs to be better. Again, it needs to be better. They need to do more. I'm expecting more from Smile 3. There's definitely going to be a Smile 3, and I'm expecting more. If there isn't, the score's not going to be as forgiving, guys. That's how I'm going to go with that. But with that said, it is time to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it has inspired. If you wanted to tell me I'm wrong for my opinions on it, please voice down in the comments below. Let me know and we'll chat about it. If you want to get on a Deep Cuts episode, get in the forums on the website. Get in the Discord. Get on the social medias. Let me know you want to talk about it. If it's on a film that we have yet to discuss, maybe, just maybe, you will be on a Deep Cuts episode and we can talk about it. Hopefully you like what we do here. Make sure to get to the website, huelessvision.com, HUELESSVISION.com. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with everything that we do here and everywhere else. Find it. It's all there, guys. So your support goes a long way, especially in the merch store. Get yourself some merch. But with that said, guys, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Enjoy the rest of your week. Voice off in the comments down below. Let me know either you agree with what I said or you disagree and you hate my guts, or maybe you got a new approach to what I said. I don't know. Voice it down in the comments below. But with that said, I'm going to get the hell out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.